Minimum wage now on the rise, 50 euros each year flies. Can it keep up with our dreams? Feels like we're stuck in old routines.
Bom dia, Portugal. This is Portugal's insult to the working classes with a measly €50 per annum increase to the national minimum wage. Let's check it out.
A's good, A's good, A's good, A's good. Wicked. It's Portuguese good.
All right, before we get started, I noticed that many of you who enjoy my content still haven't gotten around to subscribing. It costs you nothing to subscribe, but it really, really helps me out. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Go on, smash it. And if you don't,
That's ignorant.
all right, let's get into it. Okay, so it's long been known that Portugal has one of the lowest minimum wages in the EU. And as the cost of living continues to increase in Portugal, many people have been crying out for the national minimum wage to be increased to meet the demands of the higher cost of living. I've been living in Portugal for nearly 4 years now, and certainly it's not as expensive to live as, for example, the United Kingdom. But when you consider that the minimum wage in the UK is over double that of Portugal's, it's certainly not as though the cost of living in Portugal is like half that of England. It's just maybe say, I don't know, 10 or 15% cheaper. And there are certainly things in Portugal that are a lot more expensive. For example, purchasing used cars, this kind of thing. Groceries seem to be on about a par. Petrol seems to be on about a par. Utilities are probably cheaper here, but yeah, it's not massively cheaper. It's certainly not half price. That is absolutely for sure. So anyway, let's have a look at this news article that caught my eye and see what you guys think about this poultry €50 per year increase in the minimum wage. So let's check that out now. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at Euro News, and yeah, the headline: Portugal minimum wage rises. How does it compare to EU counterparts? Okay, and thank you to Angela Barnes for this article. So, plans to increase Portugal's minimum wage has been announced, but the higher salary is still far below some of its European Union counterparts. The minimum wage in Portugal is set to rise to €870 a month in 2025, after the country's Minister of Labour said this week that the increase was absolutely a done deal. Currently, workers in Portugal get a minimum pay of €820 a month. The government has also proposed raising the minimum wage by €50 a year until 2028, increasing the national minimum wage to €1,020 in 2028. Despite the increase, Portugal's minimum amount remains far below its European Union counterparts. So, according to data from Eurostat, out of 22 member states, Portugal's minimum wage ranks 12th in the EU. The European ranking is led by Luxembourg, where the minimum monthly wage stands at €2,204 per month. Behind Luxembourg is Ireland, where workers earn a minimum wage of €1,840 a month, and the Netherlands comes in third with €1,829 per month. Belgium is also in the top 5 highest minimum wage paid countries in the EU, with a monthly salary of €1,774. Germany pays €1,761, while France's minimum pay is set at €1,550 per month. So just to give you some perspective, if I talk about something like the average rent in somewhere like Lisbon. Let's have a look. The average rent in Lisbon. So for a T1, which is a one bedroom apartment, we're looking at around 600 to €700. But for anything bigger than that, it's very easy, really, really easy to end up going over €1,000 per month. So you can see that it's almost impossible for someone on minimum wage, a single person, to live in Portugal's capital city. And I think that just generally speaking, on such a low salary, we are going to be having a lot of we're going to be having a lot of problems just trying to make ends meet generally. So, guys, what do you think of that? What do you think of that? A 50 euro per year pay rise next year. So not even in time for this Christmas. I think it's really a smack in the face to hardworking grassroots workers in Portugal. I'm not really sure what the solution is. I'm sure that business would get very angry if the pay increase was any higher. But I do have a few things to say. I've noticed, for example, that when I go to a supermarket like Lidl, they often seem to be running on a skeleton crew of staff who presumably are being paid something not a lot higher, if any higher than the minimum wage. But I have to assume that the costs for these companies are very, very low. So, for example, the rent and even possibly purchasing stock is probably going to be lower than it is in other countries. So why can't they give their workers a decent living wage? Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap the video up here. But as always, I'm very interested to hear your views in the comments below the video. And just to add that I will obviously put a link to that article in the show notes. Anyway, wrap the video up here. If you like this type of content and you're new around here, please consider subscribing. It really, really helps me out. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Muito obrigado, amigos. Ciao.
Minimum wage now on the rise, 50 euros each year flies. But can it keep up with our dreams? Feels like we're stuck in old routines. Grassroots workers feeling low, hopes and tears that barely show. We've got bills to pay and mouths to feed. This small raise, it ain't the seed. 50 euros we shout and cheer, but our worries never disappear. Is this really all we deserve? It's like they hit a nerve. People leaving left and right, seeking futures that feel bright. In a world where dreams come true, Portugal, what more can you do? We need more than just a raise. We need fair and honest ways to live a life with dignity, not a struggle endlessly. 50 euros we shout and cheer, but our worries never disappear. Is this really all we deserve? It's like they hit a nerve. We need more than just a raise. We need fair and honest ways to live a life with dignity, not a struggle endlessly. 50 euros we shout and cheer, but our worries never disappear. Is this really all we deserve? It's like they